What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 48 of the Blue River Bow Hunting Podcast. I'm Brett Morris with your favorite co-host Adam Bonowitz. We're going solo tonight. Little tailgate talk for early October here in Indiana. We got a lot to talk about just between me and him. I mean, honestly, from what we've been doing, kind of just ourselves filming and saddles and properties and cameras and all that kind of stuff, but we'll hop right into it. Some tailgate talk, early season.
I think this would be good for people that just follow us and listen to us. Just kind of, I don't know, everyone starts kind of learning who people are when you just listen to the podcast, but this kind of tell you where we are compared to October 1st till now. We've picked up a few things. One of the things that me and Brett, I got permission on a new property for us, and me and Brett spent 3 hunts in it now.
And it's been unreal, really.
Yeah, it's been good to us. But man, the things that we're learning. I mean, I've really never had another new property to hunt, so everyone's kind of around here. Even Brett, I'm pretty sure, is just had his one place he's hunted, so he hadn't really had to learn something else. All he's had to concentrate on is the place that he's hunted for years. So for me, this is actually something new. I've hunted my parents' place, the neighbor's place. I got over 100 acres. I've been hunting for years. So I've always had it down where when the season comes in, we can just roll with it because I already know where the deer movement is. I already know where the stand placement already is. I've had great luck over the years. But this place it's been good, but we're learning. Well, shoot, I don't even remember. A couple of weeks ago, I think we were in there, and I encountered a good one with 2 other bucks.
And you passed a 130, right?
Yeah, I passed a 125, 130, 10 because he was with a stud. But I had my oldest boy with me, Dylan, and he put a camera out at the time, and he was sitting. He didn't have no luck, but man, since then, I didn't want to pressure it too much. Man, the weather, the temperature, everything had to be right to get back in there after I realized what we had, but still learning it all. I don't have no stands. We had a climber. So it's been a learning process.
And that's been one of the funnest things with me, just like how I've talked about hunting public land with you guys in Kentucky, going to your properties and filming you and that kind of stuff. Going to a new property is so exciting. And we hung a stand last night. And I've said multiple times after hanging it, sitting in the stand above him in the saddle, like, man, this is like my favorite place that I've sat this year. We're on the incline of a ridge, but it sits on top of a bowl almost.
Yep.
And we weren't even done setting the lock on for him. His bow is still on the ground. My camera is still on the ground. And we had does coming in, and then 20 minutes later we had another 2 does south of us, and it was just like really exciting. And it's we got down today after a morning hunt, did some exploring. Obviously, you want to do that in a new property like that. Found a ton of sign, monster rubs, some scrapes. He set a camera up on one scrape, the rubs, actually.
The rubs, yeah.
In a section of the rubs.
I know a lot of people would say set a camera on a scrape this time of the year. But really, the scrapes that we seen was on the back side of the woods. And for us to check that camera, I didn't have a cell camera with me. For us to check that camera, we'd had to walk through all the thicket again, and I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to just hunt the edges of it right now. It's early October. Why pressure it and push him off? So we didn't feel comfortable setting the camera on the back side of the woods where you have to walk through all the woods to check that camera. So what we did was we set it on a bean edge, and inside that wood line is 10 yards inside of it was just a rub galore. I think there's 7 or 8 in there.
Within a 5 or 6 foot area,
yeah.
There was a ton of rubs.
Yep.
But what he noticed compared to me, because we're talking I was filming him as he's setting his camera up, which will be on the YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Like, hey, where should we put this camera on these rubs? And there was a scrape just outside the tree line. I'm like, which areas should we put the camera on? And he said, well, they're all all the rubs, he's rubbed it on the west side of the tree. So he's coming from the west side, which I never really thought about until he said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So he put it on a tree. Hopefully it works out. But early October, shit's really ramping up around here. We got a huge cold front coming in tonight. You talking? Our highs have been in the 60s. For a couple weeks. Our high tomorrow was 48. He's got the day off. He's going to hop in the stand tomorrow. Hopefully get it done somewhere. But
not the same woods, but another woods. And man, I kind of got to keep this place a secret, but I'm excited about getting in there tomorrow morning. But back to the rub line, what Brett was saying is, man, it's something I picked up over the years. I mean, everyone picks up a little bit of things, but like if you just watch a rub line, you can learn exactly where that deer's coming from, because a deer rubs a tree only one direction. And if you see a boom, 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 you know, like, hey, he's coming out of here and he's going this direction. So we went back and we actually it sucks, but we probably walked through his bedroom and then he was leaving it and hitting all these rubs.
Thank God we didn't jump him.
Yeah, we didn't jump
him by any means.
That we're aware of.
Anyways. Yeah. Still fun to hunt a new property and all that. I mean, I'm super excited for what we've got going on this year. I haven't really hit any of my places yet, which I hit one here close to the house, but it didn't really pan out or anything like that. Early October is hard. I mean, like we've talked before, you got to hunt those cold fronts if you're hunting early October around here, I would think.
We're just so behind though this year on the 8-ball. It's we don't have a lot of cameras out the places you've had, which, you know what?
That's not a bad thing. I don't think.
It's almost back to like my new place I'm hunting now. You sit in a stand. In the years past, we've had cameras. You know what buck you're waiting on. Now, if you don't have a camera out there, you're like, damn, there could be a good one come through here, and you don't know how good is good when you don't have a camera out there. So it'll keep you more alert than the stinking having a camera out there and saying, I got a good video or a picture of a 140s in here.
Absolutely. I would like to go back and touch. I've talked about it on here a little bit. I'd like to go back and touch on our Kentucky trip a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Such a fun trip, man.
It's a great trip.
I don't think, like I said on there before, I don't mean to pressure anybody into going to the Kentucky area, but there was so much public land. I didn't realize there was that much public land in this part of Kentucky that we went.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. But man, you got to be conditioned in where we go, because it isn't flat ground. It isn't flat ground. Just where we're at now, there is places around where we're at, but the state properties that we hunt, it's some rolling hills. And it's not just rolling hills; it's 90 degrees when you're hiking those hills, and plus you probably stay up and drink too much the day before. But hey, it is a good time, but be prepared, because you get your butt kicked.
I've had some people approach me. We'll get into it a little bit later when we talk about the deer camp that we're hosting this weekend coming up in Hoosier National. But some guys are wanting me to host a deer camp in Kentucky for Velvet next year, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that because you guys already got it going on. I'm not interrupting.
We got our little thing, but that'd be a great thing to do. Just so you couldn't do it at our campsite. I promise you that, because every campsite's already rented for the year. I mean, the people that we stay at, the campground we stay at, we're called the Indiana Boys. They save a resort for us, like a spot for us every year, even if we don't plan it before we leave. They already know we're coming back. But so I'm not saying you couldn't do it with. You're not going to do it with us. But you're not going. There's not an open spot at our campground during that year, because it's that weekend of, what is it,
Labor Day
weekend. Yeah. That weekend you have to have that campsite booked the year of.
For sure.
A year in advance to be able to do it.
No, but like, we went to one particular public land basically the entire time we were there, but you had 4 or 5 really different options that we could have hunted.
We drove by 2 on the way to that area.
We drove 45 minutes from our campsite to the public land and passed 2 or 3 properties in the process, which they've hunted in years past. But they
one of them I killed my velvet buck on that I got on my wall. But yeah, it's just it's a place that is hard for us to not hunt because we kill pigs at. But at the same time, it's just I don't know. I killed a 150s there. Buddy Birch that we've talked about a million times on here. He gets too much credit. But he's killed a 160s in there, so it's hard for us to find something new.
And he killed the 160s about 50 yards off the road.
Yeah.
If that.
50 yards off the road after hiking 3 miles.
Which is pretty badass. But that transitions into the next thing that I want to talk about. Labor Day weekend, we went on this trip. We went together. I filmed Adam the entirety of our trip. He missed the doe, no big deal. It happens. But why I want to talk about this is our first year saddle hunting. Particularly myself, because he has a lot of lock-ons set up in some of these properties in Indiana that we go to. So it's like, hey, I go up, get in the lock-on, set my saddle platform, that sort of thing. But he saddle hunted while we were in Kentucky. Yeah. And I want to hear your honest opinion. And this is your honest opinion. No, we're not getting paid by anybody for any of this.
It wouldn't make a difference to me. I still would be me.
Right. What's your thoughts on the saddle hunting process of this year?
All right. So the first year of me saddle hunting was in Kentucky. But then I experienced me getting into a lock-on and him climbing into a saddle. So I experienced it both. And I've been able to climb into a lock-on and watch him install a saddle. In Kentucky, I like the saddle for hiking, man. It was beautiful. It was great.
We went way back there.
And a lot of people are like, you can get in any tree you want. The same time you can if you carry a lock-on with you with sticks. The only difference is you carry sticks. If you take sticks, you can do the same thing you can with a saddle. Okay? The difference is it's 5 or 6 pounds. It's still lighter than carrying a lock-on or a ladder stand. Or not a ladder stand, a climber. So, I don't know, but the process of a saddle and getting situated, I feel like you have to get in the woods earlier. It takes longer to process. It takes longer to get situated. It's a process to take it down. You can get out at dark and, hey, I'll meet you at the truck in 10:15. Not with a saddle, not with sticks. It takes you longer. It's a longer process with it. So if you're on a saddle hunt, you need to say, well, I'm going to get get the woods 50 minutes early, get in the tree by 30 minutes early before daylight. No, you better plan for an hour. Get to the woods an hour, hike in, time set up, give yourself 30 minutes because it's going to take you a while to get set up. That's one thing I have noticed. Not just because of the camera. I just think the whole process of putting sticks up, putting the saddle, the ropes, the harnesses, the hooks, it takes it's a longer process.
For sure. And it was pretty cool, though. Even yesterday when we set your new lock on, when we were in Kentucky doing sticks, it is easier having somebody hand you the sticks as you go up the tree.
Yeah, we're definitely getting better with it.
Oh, for sure. It's a process. I mean, it's going to take a while to get used to any. Even if you were new to a climber, that process is going to be an ongoing sort of situation.
So in Kentucky, I missed that doe, and it was when I was in a saddle, and it was an angle that I was at. Oh, yeah. It was a horrible angle. I guarantee
worst angle.
I guarantee people listen to this are great at being in a saddle and be like, "There's no bad angle you can take." It was my first time in a saddle in a tree. I'm sure I could have done something different and been able to make that shot. But
you're right-handed.
Yeah.
And it was directly beneath you to your right, so your bridge basically got in the way of your shot. And that's a tough shot. I don't care how good you are at it.
It definitely was, but I know there's somebody out there that's been in the saddle and be like, no, what you should have done was this. And they're probably right. I'm sure there's something different. Yeah, definitely experience with it. But if I'm in a lock-on, that's a dead deer.
Oh, if you were in a climber, that was a dead deer.
Yeah. I just keep saying lock on because I can see myself going back to Kentucky with sticks and a lock on.
And you missed the doe by 6 inches.
I love being able to get in cover. In most trees that you climb, you just have the skylight cover, or you're climbing under one branch. With a lock on and sticks or a saddle and sticks, you can go into trees that make all kinds of crazy shapes, got all kinds of branches and cover, and that's what I absolutely love about taking sticks. I would rather take sticks to stand than a climber anymore. And it used to be climber. I'll take sticks all day long because you can be like, man, this is where I need to be, and I can get in any tree.
Yeah,
you take a climber in there, and you're like, man, this is where it's at, but I can't find a tree to climb.
Yeah.
I can't find a tree to climb. I want to be in here, but you can't. Just get sticks and a lock on, or sticks and a saddle. But if you have a saddle, you need more time.
So I had a conversation with Braden Ware and Phil Polston that's going to be at our deer camp this weekend. They're taking a super aggressive approach to deer camp this weekend. They've been watching a lot of Hunting Public, and Zach Farrenball, or whatever the hell his name is, from Hunting Public, on the ground, basically bumping buck bedding and that sort of thing, pushing the issue on buck bedding on the ground as a public land hunter. What's your thoughts on that approach to public land hunting?
So they're wanting to like bump the deer a little bit and learn from it and hunt set up over. I've watched every Hunting Public episode they have from the very get go. No, I think you can do it. I do. I think you learn a lot from when you jump a deer, but you got to slow things down. You can't be like, I jumped him from here and just kept on walking. No, spend the time like Hunting Public guys do. If you jump a deer, go set where he was at and take the view from where that deer's bedding at and why. Okay, which way's the wind direction? Okay, because that deer ain't going to bed in there for an east wind the next day if it's a west wind when he's in there. He's doing it for a reason. A mature buck will bed in a bed on different wind directions. I think that at least. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody.
Right.
But it's a fact. I promise you.
So what's Adam Bonowitz's best approach to public land setups, I guess?
Okay, so man, oh man, I have another beer. So to me, on public land, and I've hunted Kentucky quite a few times. I think it's our 11th year we went down there. I hunted Missouri 2 years, so 13 years of hunting out of state public land. And I've hunted Indiana a few times on public land. To me, as you look at a map, guess what? That map, everybody else is pointed at those things. Everybody else is seeing those pinch points, those funnels. You know those places are getting pressured. So look at it from there. Where's those deer going when they're pressured? That's the difference you're going to find. And once you figure that out, that's where you're going to get on them. I like, if you're bumping deer, you're where they need to be. That's where you need to be. I mean, because they'll only be there for a few more days before they're bumped out of there. But if you bump them, I would hunt it.
So this could be a general question. A lot of people have their own style of doing it. What do you think in your opinion, and we'll just keep it at that, it's your opinion compared to anybody else's, what's your best public land setup as far as gear goes? Is it a climber? Is it a lock-on with sticks? Is it a saddle? Is it a ground blind? Is it doing it on the ground?
Man,
what do you think? And that's just your opinion. Well, that's all I'm asking.
I know. I've never spent the time to think about it before this because that's what I'm going to do. Man, to me, home is climber still. Home is climber. Home is comfortable. I feel safer with a climber. I don't know. I feel really comfortable in a climber. I feel safe in a climber. I really do. The sticks and a lock on or saddle, yeah, you can get up in there. You can do it. You have cover. I like it. I don't know. I just need more experience with the sticks and a lock on. I don't think I'm a saddle guy. I don't. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not
No,
bad
that's
mouthing.
just
You
your
know what I mean?
opinion,
Yeah. I'm not. I like it. If you feel safe in something, you stay longer, right? If you go to a party and you don't feel safe there, you leave, right? If you're in a tree stand and you feel safe, you'll stay for a while. But if you don't feel safe, you don't stay. So to me, it's going to be a lock on and sticks for sure. I'd love to do that route. I just got to get the setup for it, but I think that would be the best scenario to go into public land with sticks and a lock on.
Now, when you're entering this public land and you were talking about e-scouting and all that kind of stuff, what exactly are you looking for in a setup for public land? Are you looking off certain ridges with the wind? What are you looking for?
To me, I'm looking for it's all Google Maps. What most people use is I'm looking for you can almost see the extent line of just it just changes where it's thick. I want to thick it, to be honest, but then you see like your hardwoods, man. You see a lot of hardwoods. You got to find something different that's just a breakup in it. To me, I mean, where we're going this weekend, I hadn't even scouted. I told Brett that. I said, I hadn't even really looked at anything. I'm going to figure that out on the way down there. But don't mean I'm successful, but that's just what my plan is.
But I can see you being the type of guy, maybe not necessarily going in because you'll maybe set up and try to figure it out, but like on the way out, maybe towards a truck or afterwards, you may spend an hour and a half, 2 hours scouting your way back to the truck.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What sign am I looking for?
I'm the kind of guy that if I'm sitting in the stand in the morning, and if it ain't happening, and I'm getting down, it may be 8. I'm getting down, and I'm gonna figure this out. Like if you're not in the spot, why spend the time? I don't know. Don't spend the time. You got to go. You got to move. You got to figure it out. We only have a few days this weekend.
Yeah,
I wouldn't settle with your first place. And that's something I will. Anyone that's listening to this that's going down there, I've hunted all these places, and my buddy Birch and Kincaid and Butcher, all of them, don't settle because you've been hiking forever. Don't settle because this looks good enough. I'm tired of hiking. Don't. Because when you climb up and it breaks daylight, you're going to be pissed. You're like, why'd I sit here? Keep pushing. Keep pushing till you find what makes you. Because, I mean, I've done it. I've done it a million times. Where you're like, gosh dang, I've hiked so far. Here's a rub. I'm setting up right here. Screw it. No. I mean, it could end up being good. I've killed deer in Missouri that way, where I've walked so far so I couldn't find nothing. I finally seen a track. I climbed a tree, and I ended up killing a little buck. I didn't care. I was done. But, no, don't settle. Keep digging till you find something that you're like, this is it. For sure.
So, this is what, second or is it third? The third year I've filmed you.
This just be. No, last year was when we first took it off. This will be our second year. Last year's the first year.
Second full year. Third year I was on and off a little bit. Because if you think about it, I moved here in 2018. Your boys killed in 2019 on film, I think. I could have these dates super messed up. Anyways, the filming thing.
Yeah.
There's a super challenge to it. There's a reason why everybody isn't doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh, it definitely is.
For sure.
It's okay. You go. I mean, let me give a breakdown. This morning was a great example, actually. And I'm the kind of guy that will give you shit all day long.
I'm used to it.
Brett will tell you. I mean, I lit into him having fun with it today, and it wasn't nothing vicious, but it was just fun. But man, hunting with a camera guy and getting used to the setup and stuff. Go sit in the woods. You can put your back up against a tree. You feel like you're secure. Go sit in the woods with an umbrella. You feel like you stand out. There's two of us in a tree. That's the difference in a cameraman and just hunting by yourself. Will I change it? No, I love it. I love it.
I love the challenge.
Because we feel like we can make it happen. This morning, let me take you back to that, though. Like, we learned a lot this morning. Well, at least I did. So we got up in time, and we were chilling, just getting to the woods. We knew we had plenty of time. We thought we did. And I think we were there almost an hour before daylight.
Yeah.
I mean, in the car, parked. And we took our time getting our stuff together to hike in. About a 10-minute hike at most. And the sticks were already set. So we was going straight in. I went to the lock on. I climbed up to the lock on. I was set in like 30 seconds. Had to put the safety harness on. That was it. But he has to go up there and put your platform down.
Lineman's belt.
Switch to the tether. Hang your bag. Hang your camera arm.
Pull the camera up,
which we got to eventually. That was the day before. But there's a lot more to it. So what I learned today is you got to get to the woods an extra 20 minutes earlier than what you normally do with a cameraman. For sure. And it's nothing bad or nothing. You just, now we just adjust.
Sure.
Yep.
But some of the stuff that we've caught on camera, had it been youth season, regular season, gun season, bow season, we've caught some pretty cool shit on camera.
Oh yeah,
for the most part, for sure.
Yeah, and it's gonna get better. It is. I mean, I think that you said it could be 3 years. I mean, if it is, this is our second year going heavy at it now. But what's cool is we got the GoPro. I mean, I think the video of it. I think it's cool.
I love the view from it.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I'm gonna take that with me tomorrow morning. Just remember that.
I got to go to work. Fuck.
But yeah, so anybody out there that's, but I tell you what, in Brett's eyes, is he feels like with a saddle and a camera, he can go with anybody at any time that has a lock on, which he's correct. He can go, if someone's got a lock on, all he needs is a saddle. He can just boom, put the platform down, and video you. This is 100% correct, but it's going to take him an extra 10, 15 minutes, maybe more. If it's the morning we had today, it'd be more than 15. But you're going to have those days. Just like you have the days where you climb up in a tree with your climber and forget to hook your bow up to it to pull it up. Like that stuff happens. For sure.
Yeah, it's an evolving process. And you're going to have days where shit takes a little bit longer than normal. Or, like we went to Kentucky, both of our first time saddle hunting. First time filming out of a saddle. We're taking a picture for our group chat right now. What's up, Kincaid? But shit just, sometimes it takes a little bit more time set up in the morning. Sometimes you just need to give yourself a little bit of extra time. But I want to hear your view. We keep talking about the filming thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your view of what it's been like to have somebody filming you. Basically, I wouldn't say 24/7, but as you're in a tree stand 24/7. Basically,
it is. It's a good time, man. You feel more comfortable staying in the stand because you got somebody to talk to and stuff. But at the same time, it's more. There's times it's frustrating.
For sure,
it's be quiet, quit moving. You know what I mean? And it's
quit
not.
Coughing.
Yeah, but it's not like. I don't know. I see him swinging out of his damn his stand like it's a stinking playground swing sometimes, and I'm like, what the hell? But no, there is times it's frustrating, but I always go back to we're having fun. Like today's hunt, we're like, man, it was frustrating to get off the gun. Like he was upset. I could tell he was getting pissed when you couldn't get everything done. I told him he didn't need his flashlight because it's daylight right now.
But I couldn't see it.
but I could tell he was getting frustrated. But by the end of the hunt, we had fun.
Oh yeah,
we did. But just to be in the video, it gets frustrating. It does, but I make it fun. We make it fun.
If you don't make it fun, what are you doing out
there? Yeah, absolutely. But it's I don't know, man. If you take it serious, if I took hunting way serious, I'd probably do it on my own. I would, because I'm like, man, the extra movement, the extra body in a tree. The extra sounds.
Extra smells.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If I really took it serious, I mean, the people that do it for a living, they're doing it because they're making money. They're not doing it because they really love it. Because if I really I absolutely love it. I almost get divorced every deer season because of it. But if I get on a big buck and I think I got him figured out, you bet your ass, Brett, you're getting left at home.
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
going after him, boys. But no, like it does. It's I enjoy it for sure. But man, I know that we're doing double the stuff, double the noise. Don't sense it. You know me. I don't give two shits about it. As long as my wind's in the good direction, I'm feeling comfortable with it. I'm setting.
So we talked about this new property a little bit. We talked about the reb line we saw about the sign we saw. Let's hear about Mr. Wonka.
Oh man, guys, this is funny. I put one stand up, we put the ladder stand or the lock on up yesterday. Then today we went and hunted it, and the first evening I hunted this place, I seen the big one, and as the day we were coming out of the woods, I was like, let's go move one camera that my son put up. Let's go move it. Let's go check my cell camera. I need to move it because it ain't too good. This is a new place. You're just figuring it out. Because when you put them out, early or late September, you really don't see much sign. And now we're seeing sign, so I know where to move the cameras to. So we moved the cameras to where we got sign now, which is huge. I mean, you just wait till the middle of October, and you know where the deer are moving a little bit better compared to where I put the stands out or the cameras out. Well, we're walking out of the woods, and I said, you know what I'm going to call this buck I seen the other day? He said, what? I said, Wonka. He said, Wonka? And he said, I think I heard somebody call a deer that the other day. I said, well, I don't know. I've never heard one called that, but I'm calling him Wonka. He said, why Wonka? And I said, it's kind of like the chocolate. We're slowly peeling back the gold wrapper on this thing because I'm going to figure this deer out, and I'm going to get the gold wrapper on this deer, and we're calling him Wonka because we're going to figure him out. And there's about 5 woods there that's just patch woods. And I do feel comfortable that he's living in there. And I know only one person hunts out of those 5 woods. So I hope he can stay in there. I know there's enough does to keep him in there. We'll see.
But how much is that like straight Indiana hunting? Like we're hunting ag. We're talking about
this is central Indiana.
East central Indiana.
Yeah.
We're talking about little bitty pieces of woods. We're not talking about anything big. We're talking about very small parcels of woods.
I'd say the biggest woods is probably 10 acres.
If that.
Yeah.
And we're talking very...
I know the one that I encountered him in, he came across the bean field to me, and I'm in probably a 4-acre, 5-acre woods, if that. And that's where he was going to. And I watched him come to the bean field till it got dark. And, that was the smaller 10, because he's a 10. The 10 came in within 6 yards of me. See me, didn't blow, but busted out of there. And they were in the beans for a while. And I had to wait till they walked off before I could get down. Then I walked through the woods, which was the harder route, but that's where I wanted to walk so they wouldn't see me.
Yeah, it's so... When you talk about these smaller parcels of woods, not really your other woods, because that's kind of a bigger tract of woods.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how you set these cameras up to try to figure out where these deer are moving at.
Yeah, like I said, I've always had my one place, man. So maybe this is like the first couple of years of me having a new woods to hunt. So why I'm moving the cameras, like I said earlier, September I set the cameras and didn't really have any sign. I'm just going with what I'm feeling. And now that I'm setting the cameras, man, it's a game changer. Now I'm excited about where to put the cameras because there's scrapes, there's rubs. So now you got a great idea where to put your cameras. But where we were seeing them today was inside the woods, really, not on the wood lines. We did put one camera on a hard cut point where it's straight corn to the woods, and there's an opening, and it's bean fields, but the beans have been taken out. So it's a good point where, it's a good travel quarter that we put it on. Hoping to catch some. My son, when he did put the camera out, it wasn't too far from it. Just had it facing a different angle, and he did have a few good bucks on there and a few does, but I'm excited to see what happens now that we put it on that hard cut between corn, beans, and a woods. Before it was just on the bean field. I think we're going to get some good ones now.
And there was an 8-pointer there this morning at 8:15, and when we were about, 400 yards from him.
But it's that's what I told Brett. I said he's this buck that we're after, Wonka. He's in one of these 5 woods. Now we may hunt where he's at that day. It's just got to be this time of the season. He's just got to get up at the right time and come in our direction, because he's got different woods to choose from every time he gets up. He can go left or he can go right.
Something that I've mentioned in the last couple podcasts, some people may have caught it, some people may have not caught it, but for everybody that's hunting in East Central Indiana, or definitely Southeast Central Indiana, has definitely felt the effect of EHD in the last year. The surrounding counties. We have Wayne County, we have Fayette County. What other counties?
I think if you just look at the doe, how many does you're allowed to kill in the state of Indiana, about every county is down to 2 or 1. I think it's almost 99% of them are now. EHD has taken over. Last year, I was on a podcast actually this year with Brett talking about last year's season. It was the worst I've ever had. What was going on, and this year with 100 acres of woods, I'm telling you, I've killed a lot of big deer off this woods. It is absolutely the worst I've ever seen it. I got 13 cameras out there. I got 3 cell cameras. I have pictures of 2 bucks, 1 now that is regularly. I have a doe and a yearling and 1 doe by herself on all these cameras on 100 acres. And I promise you, I don't hunt it. I don't pressure it till it's right. We hunted at Youth Weekend. I have not been in there since Youth Weekend. I haven't hunted it. My son's been in there once, maybe twice, and that's it. And I pulled the cards the other day. That's all the pictures I had.
And to give him a little bit of credit, I think I've talked about him on here before, getting youth involved in hunting. And he's 16 years old?
15
years old, and this kid, I bet, can out-hunt 80% of the people that listen to this podcast. Yes, he's in school, he's in football, but this kid don't sleep, man.
Oh, no. So this
kid's ready.
This week was fall break for him.
He hunted every day.
Yep, he has football in the evenings, and he actually hunted every morning, and didn't take a nap, and went straight to football practices. He actually last Friday, he got to play 3 quarters as a freshman as a starting quarterback. So he got the shit beat out of him, that's for sure. But guess what he did Saturday morning? He got up and went hunting. So hats off to him. But man, it's in the bloodline, I think. But it don't fall to all 3 of my kids, because I got one of them as a city slicker. But that's all right.
Yeah, that's all good for sure.
But no, EHD has killed my property, man.
It's killed everybody. We're seeing the effects of it. It doesn't matter what property we hunt. We see the effects of it everywhere.
What I have noticed is the properties that you can really tell a difference is when I'm closer to the river. I don't know if that is true. That's just my opinion. But any property that you have that's closer to the river, is you can really tell a difference in the deer population. Mine used to be just phenomenal. I just seen a buddy of mine, Brandon, post a thing on Facebook where he said, "When are you going to take me again?" I remember exactly when I took him and put him in a tree, and I knew damn near that he was going to kill a deer. Like, I knew, like, all my spots, I knew people that never killed deer. I'm taking them there because they're going to see one, they have a chance to shoot one. Now I'm like, I don't know where the hell to go. But a quick story is, I think 3 years ago, I went down the river. I found a 150s and a 130s on my property. Not my property, but the place I hunt. But then I really kind of stayed out, man. I found a lot more deer than that, but those are the 2 I found. This year I didn't do anything. I had a couple buddies and went down and found a bunch of dead deer in the river again. So we ain't catching a break.
Butcher found one.
Yep. Clint found one at his place. But I'm actually got some big stuff coming, I hope. I got a logger that's looking at my property. 7 acres. This is my property. He's going to do some work for me. As I'm walking with him, I found a dead deer in the creek. A dead doe. I'm like, here's another one. So, like, it's killed us, dude. It is absolutely murdered the places that that I have to hunt by the river.
And the property, the 90 acres you're talking about, it's a mile from the river, if that?
Probably not even that.
Not
I mean,
even that, yeah.
maybe half, quarter, half. But I mean, I see deer down there that I know I'll see up top. I call it top because it's just right up the ridge from them. But man, it is crazy. Nobody wants this. Hey, nobody wants this on the worst enemy.
No, for sure.
But it makes it tough if you have a property like that to get people started at hunting right now. Right now, to take a youth hunting on something like this that we have around here, the youth ain't gonna want to hunt. They ain't seeing nothing.
Think about it. I started youth hunting with you in 2018. It's 2022. This is the first year we haven't killed a deer in youth season.
Yeah.
In 4 years.
Yep.
Or 3 or 4 years or whatever.
Yeah. We've had years where 2 of them killed them. I had years where all 3 killed them. Yeah. This year, no. I'm telling you. I mean, Caden could have. The doe that I told you in the yearling.
He was on a big one.
Yep. But the doe and the yearling I told you I had pictures of, Caden had him come in front of him. And the doe, that's probably a year and a half. She's little, and Caden said that, and he's usually my killer. He'll shoot anything. He would have shot the yearling last year. I don't know. So something's changed in him. He did pass it, but that was the only thing we seen that whole weekend.
That weekend was tough for sure. I know I didn't really get to hunt Sunday because I went to the Colts game, but
you would have slept in anyways.
Maybe. So we're 41 minutes into this. I definitely want to cover. We're going into the weekend of the 21st to the 23rd, which is our public land deer camp in Hoosier National Forest, Southern Indiana. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what this is going to be about. I want to talk about how we're going to approach it, how many people we got going, that whole sort of thing. But what are you thinking about? What's this deer camp looking like for you? You think?
To me, I just want it to be a good time. But
sure.
Everybody's going to be set in stone, and this is what they do, this is the right way, and all that. Not everybody. I'm just saying, I just want everyone to be open-minded with it, man. Go learn. Learn from others. Even though if you think you got it figured out, I promise you can still pick something else off somebody else. But go have fun. Don't make it competitive. If you're making it competitive,
you're on the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you're competitive. If you're competitive about it, I promise you, I was for years. I didn't want my neighbors to kill any deer. And then I wanted them to, and I started killing big deer. So it's just it pans out to be just a good brother in the woods. But no, I'm excited about it, man. It should be a good time. I hope some people kill some deer. I hope they're willing to share some backstraps because if I kill one, everyone's eating some of it. I don't care.
For sure.
Yeah, man, I hope some people kill it and ask me to come help trail one or help drag one. I promise you, I'll pack a 12-pack and go help you.
Right. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. My mindset on this, I know a lot of people think different things when it comes to this, the whole deer camp, and maybe have like a competitive mindset or something like that. Yeah. I'm thinking, let's help each other out. Let's go kill some deer. Let's cook up some backstraps and deer steaks and hot dogs and brats and drink beer and everybody have a good time. And just that's my mindset. I don't care if you're chasing a 160. I don't care if you shoot a spike. I just want you to have a good time. I want you having a good time at our camp. I want you to come in and have a beer with us. We got people coming from Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, everywhere. I mean, I'm just.
What's his name coming from West Virginia?
No, he's not coming.
Damn it.
His daughter's having some kind of surgery or something.
What the hell's his name?
Troy.
Yeah, Troy. Dude, that's my buddy. I had a great time with Troy. Troy, if you're listening to this, I wish you would have been here, man.
For sure.
I hope everything works out for you and your daughter. Brett has said something about it, but yeah, I hope everything works out great for you guys. But I was looking forward to. Well, you drink the hard shit, so I'll just drink beer and watch you drink it. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you. But man, maybe next year we can get something going with you and get you down here, Troy. But let's go have a good time, fellas. Yeah, and let's all try killing something big. If we don't, we don't. Let's just have a good time. But I promise you that we'll all be sore, we'll all be tired. And Brett's cooking for everybody, so we'll be all right.
If you're coming, don't expect me to cook for you every night. Definitely bring some stuff. I know Friday I'm gonna cook up a bunch of hot dogs and some broth and stuff like that.
Told you.
Saturday night, let's throw like something together. I mean, even if it's like Saturday during the day, let's throw something a little in the tripod. Pot up with some deer steaks and some beef stock and some carrots, potatoes. Make like a stew up. You know, I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah. One thing I would say though about this is, anyone that's got a deer cart,
bring it,
and then in a group, drop your pin because like none of us have one, and I'm saying it not just because I don't have one. Hell, I'd drag a deer or quarter him out in Ziploc bags, and but no. I think that's the best way to do is just be friendly about it. Hey, if I did have one, I'd tell everyone, I'll drop a pin where my truck's at. Hey, if you kill one, come swing by and grab it out of my truck. So if you got a deer cart, bring it. It'll come in handy for sure, or a sled. People laugh when I say sled, but I've drug out a deer with a sled. It is pretty damn easy.
No, my phone number is out there for sure. So I know everybody that's going to come this coming weekend is probably going to hook up with us on the camp at some point. But if you need somebody to help you drag a deer out, maybe you don't hook up with us at camp on Friday night and you go Saturday morning. Most people have my phone number. If you don't, message us on anything that you need. We'll figure it out. We'll drag a deer out for you.
Absolutely. Sure. So yeah, if he's deep, you know what I'm going to do?
I'm going to bring a 6-pack of beer.
No, that too, but I'm going to learn as I'm hiking back here too. I'm not going to hunt your spot, but I'm going to learn why that deer was there, why you killed it, and all that. So I'm not going to hunt that. Hell, next year you have full rights to that. You earned it if you killed deer there. But I'll definitely help you drag it out so I can learn for sure.
And we're not trying to make this anything that it's not. We want it to be camp. We want everybody to have a good time. We want everybody to enjoy themselves. If you're not coming and hanging out and enjoying yourself and hunting and hanging out with us, we don't want it to be like that. We want to.
Chuck E. Cheese is open.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese is open somewhere on the south side of Indianapolis. We want you to have a good time and pop a couple tabs with us and have a great time. Yeah. That's the point of deer camp.
Man, I'm looking forward to talking to these guys from Texas.
Yeah.
Just to hear this. Is that Scott? So I've never met Scott, never had a podcast with Scott, but I'm looking forward to talking to him and just the different stuff that he does and how much different it is. I'm just interested to see his point, like what he's got to say about like, dang, Indiana's this and that compared to what he hunts.
I think that's one of my biggest things too. Meeting new people. There may be some people that I haven't met, some people that I have met, and all that. I want to hear. Everybody's going to have their different approach to it. Mm-hmm. Your approach may be different than my approach. It's definitely going to be different than somebody from Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, and I want to see. Scott, I want to see when a Texas guy comes up here and says, "What the hell's all these hardwoods and where to hunt it?" I mean, you know what I mean? I think it'd be just to hear what you have to say, like what you thought when you were looking at the map and said what it is. You know what I mean? Because if I looked at Texas, I'd be like, "Hell, where do I go?"
Right.
You know, so because I've never hunted something like that, so I would be kind of blindsided by trying to figure it out. So it'd be a good time, but yeah, for sure.
For sure. Well, everybody, if you're listening to this and you don't know about it, we're hosting a deer camp in Hoosier National Forest, Indiana Salina, North Face Campground, Friday through Sunday. That being Friday, October 21st through October 23rd. We'll be there all weekend in the campground. But you guys have a great rest of your week. If you're on some bucks, I hope you get one and all that sort of thing. You guys have a good rest of your week, and if not, we'll see you at deer camp.
Absolutely. Later, fellas.
Later.